Yeah, I've never been this conditioned before, like ever. We're not fat. It's kind of my job done. The rest is out of my control. This is with a film of water as well, so just wait till we dry out. Right, welcome back to the YouTube. We are under 3 weeks out now. It's Sunday today. It's not been that long since I filmed the full day of eating. The last video, as you can tell by my eyes, they're still horrific. But yeah, it's Sunday today. We fly, by we, I mean me and my videographer, fly to America a week tomorrow. So we'll be out there 2 weeks prior to Detroit, just to acclimatise and any excuse to go to America. I fucking love it. So yeah, we'll be out there 2 weeks prior to Detroit, which is exciting. So this technically will be the last video from the UK. So technically it's like, last workout in the UK. It's not. I've still got another 6 sessions, I think, in this gym. But this is the last one we'll be filming. So that's pretty exciting. And then it'll be into the American gyms for the final week and then into peak week. So plenty of exciting things to come. In terms of where we're up to now, same old really. As I said, literally not a lot has changed. This will probably be a little bit of a shorter video, just because you've seen plenty of food stuff recently. My food's no different. My post-workout's the exact same meal, so I'm not going to film that again today because there's no point. It's cream of rice with Leon cereal whey paste. I think when this video comes out, there is 20% off all bestsellers at ESN, so get on it, code Eagles. All your whey proteins, Crank Pump Pros, ashwagandhas, pretty much everything that sells the most, that you probably use the most, creatine, all that sort of shit, is on sale right now, so go check it out. But yeah, so where we're up to, got back down, as you mentioned last video, we brought carbs up a little bit to exactly what you saw me eat last video. We stayed on that, and I sort of predicted last video that it was going to be steady 2 pound drops. It was, up until the point I then just dropped 4 pounds one night and woke up at a new prep low of 212 pounds on the dot, which is the weight cap. So we saw that and thought, right, fucking hell, we need more food again. Did 2 high days the last 2 days, 1,000 grams of carbs both days. Woke up today, back up I gained about 3 pounds a day on that, so I'm back up to about 218, 219-ish, somewhere around there. Definitely a little bit watery today. There is certainly a film of water on there, so the physique's not looking as crisp or as sharp. But like I said, we're still just under 3 weeks out, and it's very much a case of trying to maintain the physique at this point, rather than actually too much more fat loss and pushing down. There is still a little bit of fat loss to go. But if we push that final bit now, I'd then just fade too much prior to being able to load. And that's what we need to be careful of, because obviously me being classic physique, I have a weight cap. I can't do a massive peak week where I eat shitloads of carbs for 3 or 4 days and fill the tank. I've got to make weight the day before, and I've only got 5 days to load. So even in my peak week, really, I can't put carbs in until the day before the show. So I do still have 2.5, well, nearly 3 weeks of being on low food, or having to stay under the weight cap before I can actually load food. So with that in mind, obviously we don't want the physique to fade. So the 2 high days and then carbs are back up to that, what I ate last video today. Back at what I'd call a moderate baseline, 300 grams of carbs, 300 grams of protein and 40 grams of fat, which I can't complain about. It does feel like quite a lot of food compared to what I was eating before, so 0 complaints from me. The weather's quite nice here in the UK at the minute as well. That's helping my mood a lot. I am someone who clearly is very affected by the weather, which I always knew. This year I've noticed even more so, being a prep, and prepping at this time of the year for the first time has not been the most enjoyable. But now it's heading into summer, you know, most of the fat loss is done, the vibes are improving, hard work's done, and the weather's getting better, so I can't complain. I'm training by myself again, obviously, because we are filming. This is one of my shorter sessions because it's push. I can just bounce through it, keep the intensity nice and high. Should be able to get a pretty decent pump today, but unfortunately a little bit watery, so it won't quite look as cool. But we will get into it now, get moving. Tell you one thing I've discovered, right, in the last probably 4 weeks of prep, and this is something I should have discovered about 3 years ago, and it's putting your phone on Do Not Disturb when you train. Sounds fucking mental, I'm only just saying this now, and trust me, I'm as disappointed in myself as well. Like, I always, it gets to the end of the day, about, in the off season, about 9 PM, I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, switch it off, put it on the side on charge and leave it and don't touch it. And I'll normally go to bed about 10:30 in the off season. Right now, phone's on Do Not Disturb from about 7 p.m. I'm asleep by about 8:30 at the minute. But yeah, I always used to leave my phone. A notification would like ping through occasionally. And obviously when you've got an Apple Watch on as well, it's even worse because you can see it and then it's in your head. Especially with what I do for work, obviously clients. I love all my clients, but I don't, if a client message comes through and it's someone's having an issue and I read it, I'll then just reply to it straight away. And that could then become a conversation. And then suddenly in between sets, I'm spending 10 minutes having this conversation. In the off season, not as much of an issue, but this prep, obviously trying to keep the intensity up throughout the session, just not having the messages has been fucking phenomenal. And it is something I will continue to do. Something I always should have been doing. Like, it's embarrassing I'm even having to say this now, but yeah, Do Not Disturb for me during training. This prep has been fantastic, and I'm going to keep that going. As I suggest probably all of you do as well. Most of you probably already did, you know. Me, however, I wasn't doing that, so I've learned, and it's been very beneficial. Pre-workout today was 40 grams of Crank Pump Golden Pro. Crank Pump Golden Pro? Golden Pump Crank Pump. Wesley Visser's Crank Pump Pro. I forgot what it is. Golden something. It's Crank Pump Pro, juiced up. It's phenomenal. Love it. Been using it every single session. Absolutely love the stuff. So yeah, you know, shout out ESN and him for nailing that. Intro, we've got the usual aminos. Funnily enough, it's the same as always because we're 3 weeks out, so fuck all changed at this point. In the UK, you find some coffee shops that are great. Em and I found a little private one, like just a little standalone family-run business one. That was great. But one I did try yesterday that I've not had before was Dunkin' Donuts, right, in the UK. Now, I would have preferred to get a donut from there, and best believe post-show I will, but dropped in there for a coffee yesterday, ice black, Americano, and it was actually very, very nice coffee, which I didn't expect, to be fair. Way better than Starbucks or Costa, in my opinion. So this is strictly for the UK, by the way. I don't know what Dunkin's like over in the States or Europe, but in the UK, it was actually good coffee compared to Starbucks or Costa. So if you are in the UK and you've got a Dunkin' near you, just give it a try. Right, that felt really nice. One thing I really like about this Tyvek is because it's got the back support. It's obviously a lot more stable than a regular cable fly, but also it really allows you to open up and get like such a massive stretch on the back. So that's one thing we're really focused on there. And then as you come in, try to not crab arm it and just do this and try and bring your fists together. So I can actually extend, and what you want to think about is bringing your elbows together rather than just your fists. And that's going to get a lot more out of your pec. Hammer strength incline press is the same one I've been running for quite some time now. I had a client message me asking about this the other day, so I figured if they've got the question, probably quite a few people have the question. And it's when you see people, specifically on this machine, I think people are quite bad for it, is where they position their like hips and where they sit. Because I'm guilty for this in the past, don't get me wrong. When I think I've done 6 plates on this for a top set before, peak off season, really trying to ego lift. People slide their hips right the far forward like this, and then get in here and right. And it's fucking way easier because what I've done is I've turned an incline press into a flat press. Because if you now look at the angle of my torso, hips are here, I'm there, I'm sort of matching the degree here. So it's just way easier. Whereas if I put my hips back and I'm there, suddenly to get this short, it's way, way harder. So yeah, in terms of answering your question, if you're actually using this for like an incline press, which is its purpose, which is what you should be doing, you want your hips back. Obviously, you still want an arch to be able to open up the chest and get a stretch. But when you see people, their hips right far forward like this, ego lifting, all they're doing is turning it more into a flat press and not getting as much sort of upper chest recruitment. So don't ego lift, keep your hips. Doesn't have to be like right against the back, but keep them fairly neutral so that you are actually getting that sort of upper clavicular sort of recruitment. Not ego lifting on this at the minute. As I said, it's a hard one to get short, especially at this point in prep. Strength hasn't really suffered. There was a little brief period in time, as I discussed last video, where There were a few sessions that started to flag, but for the most part, it's been pretty okay. I did concede half a plate on this last session, just because if I tried to do 4 plates again, I probably would have got 6 very shit reps. But I'm going to see how I feel warming up today. If I can get back to that 4 plate mark for a top set today, I'll be pretty happy. If not, we'll probably do about 3 and a 15, which will still be 5 kilos up from last session when I did concede. But I care more about getting smart, intelligent stimulus and not opening myself up to unnecessary injury risk at this stage. The goal here is stimulate the muscle, not annihilate now. We're this close to show, so gotta pick your battles smartly. I can already hear you all saying, "Oh, Jack, that is such an attractive t-shirt. You're so attractive and sexy, and jump in my bed and calm down. It's all right. You know, there's enough for everybody." There's not, and I'm sorry. But yeah, this t-shirt, I'll stand this here. I should say, best bit about these, the new VQ drop, right? It's the fit. The fit on this is fucking phenomenal. It's part of the Olympus collection, which, if you remember when I was in London a few weeks ago, a month ago, 5 weeks ago, this was the collection I was shooting with Jose and Yemi. It's just the fit of these tees. It's different styles that they've done before. So it's more of a dropped shoulder, not as long, so it's a bit more cropped. So perfect for oversized, basically. Like, this is a 3XL. I am 6'7". No, I'm not. I'm 5'9". 5'9", right now about 215-ish pounds. I also wear a 3XL when I'm still 5'9" in the off season and about 250 pounds. So yeah, hopefully that's some sort of reference. But these are out now. They come out tomorrow when I'm filming this, but they'll have been out for about a week already. So Code Eagles, there's this design, like they're like graphic tees basically, just with some of the best fit you'll find. Loads of different ones, so go check it out. Code Eagles at VQ. At least I win on forearms. That's about it. That's all I'm going to win on. To be fair, I did wake up quite watery, but clearly I've pissed most of that away because the glutes are sharp. Yeah, fucking hell, right. We're not fat, finally. We're not fat. It's kind of my job done. The rest is out of my control. So, let's get it. Yeah, chest is cooked in a good way. Fucking hell, right. 2 sets of flies and then into a little bit of delt. Routine work, bro. It's not my routine. I do have my routine sorted though. I've been on rest days, fucking crashed it. It's gonna be a letdown. So whatever you've got in your head, thinking I'm some masterful poser, can we please just lower the expectation so that then whatever I do, it kind of is still somewhat impressive. But yeah, routine sorted. We'll see how it goes, if I can remember it. Don't know if it translates to camera, but this is with a film of water as well, so just wait till we dry out. Yeah, I've never been this condition before, like ever. Fucking everything's stripped out. Just a film of water. Bit of drying out, bit of water manipulation, a little diuretic, and we are good to go. Happy days. Right. The reason I do buys and tries, now I've explained this before, but it's a lot of sort of everyone's philosophy, but John Meadows specifically. Blood localization, really. So I'm hitting triceps. There's already going to be shitloads of blood on my triceps. They're already slightly pre-fatigued anyway, just from all the pressing. But I'm going to hit them. There's going to be loads of blood there. Because the blood's all localized in that area, to then transport it across and get a really good pump in the bicep takes a lot less effort than if my arms were completely cold and I was trying to get a bicep pump. So because there's already blood in that area, I mean, I tag on a little bit of bicep onto this session to get a little bit of extra frequency, because arms especially, they're a really small muscle group, so they can tolerate high frequency really well. You don't have to absolutely kill them. If you can just hit them every few days, then they're going to respond quite well. So that's a lot of the philosophy there. This Nautilus Nitro extension, Max, one of my mates, one of my best mates. I've known him since school. We went to secondary school together. I also coach him now. He's competed quite a few times. We'll find out if Max actually watches these videos or not right now, because he used to rave about this machine and I was adamant I hated it, so I used to hate it. I used to say it was shit, and we always used to disagree on it. Fast forward about 3 years, I've gone full 180. So Max, I've never said this before, mate, but for once in your life, you were right. It's a banging machine. Luckily, I don't think he's watching this, so he'll never know that I've just admitted that he was right about something. But yeah, it's a very good machine. I superset that with the Atlantis overhead. I think I explained this in the last session 2 videos ago, but I just superset him. If I try and do that when I'm fresh, I have to go heavy and he just rips my elbows apart. Whereas if I superset it, go really light, get the full stretch with 0 elbow pain. I'll be totally transparent with you lot. I also need to do more than a piss, but I can't be asked to do that here. I'll wait till I'm at home. It just means the pull up the vacuum is going to be slightly harder than normal, but I'll go for a piss, throw on the trunks. We'll do a little bit of posing for the camera, and then I've got all my usual mandatory work. Probably not going to do routine today. Pretty happy that I've done enough of that yesterday on my rest day. So yeah, I'll do a few shots for camera. Then I'll go through my mandatory rounds, just drilling posing for posing fitness. And then we'll sit down at the front and I'll catch up on my very exciting recovery protocol, which isn't that exciting, and round off the video. Right, so that is session wrapped up, posing wrapped up. My hamstrings are so fucking tight that I need to go and do a lot of stretching this afternoon. A very good session, happy with that. As you're watching this, I fly tomorrow, if you're watching it when it comes out, which is very exciting. So the work has been done. As this comes out, we're 2 weeks out. Right now I'm 3 weeks out. We're filming it a week in advance. But yeah, happy, satisfied so far that I've done everything I need to do, which is all I can do. Whatever happens after that is fucking fate, or it's just inevitable, isn't it? So yeah, proud. I've done everything I need to do, and will continue to do that right up until I step on stage. So that's peace of mind. As for recovery, I have been doing tissue work twice a week for the last few weeks now. 1 hour twice a week. Basically every single rest day, every 4 days, I've been doing tissue work. I also come in the gym on a rest day. I do about 45 minutes of posing practice in terms of running rounds and routine. After that, I also do the recovery room here, which Ultraflex, they've basically got an ice bath and a sauna. So I'll sit in the ice bath for a little bit, about 10 to 12 minutes, and then I'll lie in the sauna for about 20 minutes. And usually I just fall asleep. So regular ice baths, regular saunas every single rest day, as well as tissue work every single rest day. Every single night I've been doing about 20 minutes of stretching, primarily for the legs is what I stretch out, just because my quads typically get very tight. On top of that, I also do the recovery boots every single night, just the compression boots. But that's something I've been doing for the majority of prep. That's not really changed. The only thing that's really stepped up recently is the sauna, ice bath and tissue work. Tissue work I won't be doing from 2 weeks out, just to reduce any inflammation. Recovery boots I will probably take out to the States with me and continue to do those every night, just because they are great. They're basically anti-inflammatory. So yeah, that's just kind of it for the recovery side of things. That's kind of it for this video. There's really not a whole lot to update you on, as I said. Like, I only filmed a few days ago and we're filming again today, and then the next week for me just looks training, food is normal, and then pack, make sure I've got everything. And then we'll be out in America for the final 2 weeks before Detroit, which is exciting. Get out there, get the food shopping, and then just adjust to the American living. So very excited. Next video you see from me will be out in the States. So like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the content coming from there. And that concludes this prep in the UK, and I'll see you over in the States.